Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? I just had a little bit to discuss about the Royal Rumble and what's going on in WWE right now. On Raw, the other night, 2 nights ago, Seth Rollins laying out Cena and Lesnar. Now, you know, when it's like that, it's scripted, But Seth really took a stand there, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Seth, over the next, this year, 2015, because, the crowd just don't like Brock. Some people do. I like Brock. I'm not a big time fan, but I like Brock better than Seth Rollins and John Cena. Brock's a fucking beast. Cena, people, you know how Cena is. Some hate him, some love him. I like him. He's all right. Like I said, he's not one of my favorites either. But Seth is the best. And when you lay out John Cena and Brock Lesnar on Monday Night Raw, that's saying something. That's saying Triple H, who's in charge right now, and Vince McMahon and Stephanie have a lot of faith in you. But I don't think he's going to win the title. Maybe he will. I'm going to be there at the Royal Rumble. But something really got me earlier tonight, before I went up to my mother's to have dinner in Fox Station here in Philadelphia. He said, WWE don't make the mistake twice. What he meant by that was, don't make sure Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble next year. You saw what Pittsburgh did to Batista. What do you think Philly would do? First of all, I left a comment on your website. I don't know who you are. I just watched it because I saw Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is not winning the Royal Rumble. Neither is Roman Reigns. I'd rather see Roman Reigns than Daniel Bryan. I'm dead honest. We're not Pittsburgh. We're Philadelphia. We're not Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh thinks they're from the West Coast. They dress in khakis and Converse. We're not. We're East Coast. You know what I'm saying? We don't think we're from the West Coast. You know what I mean? We're not. We're Philly. We ain't Pittsburgh, dude. If Batista would have won it in Philly, half of the crowd probably would have been cheering. Daniel Bryan is another priority. He's just like John Cena, but he's totally different. He just does yes, 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 yes. And you know what? If he did win the Royal Rumble, which he didn't, even Triple H said, I don't like the guy, but last year's WrestleMania, it wasn't, the greatest WrestleMania of all time, but I would have to say the two biggest things ever in WrestleMania history happened that night. The streak ended, and that was the biggest win at any end of a WrestleMania, at any end of any WrestleMania, when Daniel Bryan won that WWE World Title, when he made Batista tap, and he beat Batista and Randy Orton in the main event, that was his moment. Why would the WWE have him win the Royal Rumble? Why does he deserve that? It proved what happens. Remember, like I said before, when we were younger, we used to look at Hogan and Macho Man. And he gets into, and that's another thing I'll get on. They're going to have that scumbag Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, brother. Hey, I was a Hulkamaniac for like a year when I was a kid. Then, I liked Randy Savage and Piper. I liked all them better now. I even liked Junkyard Dog better, and I wasn't a big fan of JYD. But having Hulk Hogan induct Randy, Macho Man must be friggin' flipping in his fucking grave. Hulk Hogan inducting Randy. If Warrior was alive, this wouldn't happen. Because the Warrior would straight up say Randy would I'm surprised Leaping Lanny Poffo, his brother, if you all remember, the guy who used to throw the frisbees in the club, I'm surprised he ain't saying nothing. How are they going to have Hulk? Randy Savage must be like, what the hell, brother? What's he? You know what I mean? Piper. Anybody, Jake the Snake, Piper, Jake the Snake, anybody, Kevin Nash even said, he tweeted something like that, Randy must be flipping in his grave. That's what Kevin Nash tweeted. You know what I'm saying? That's nuts. How could you have Hulk? I knew they were going to die. That night on Raw, the other night, I was in the middle of texting my buddy Buddha, the guy I used to do the show with, and I was saying, I got a feeling Vince is going to end up having Hulk Hogan induct Randy into the Hall of Fame. Randy Savage. And what the next commercial, the man who will be inducting them, I thought, who should induct him for real? Ricky Steamboat. That wasn't the greatest WrestleMania match ever at WrestleMania 3. That was the greatest match. That's arguably the greatest match ever. Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, March 29th, 1987, in a Pontiac Silverdome, WrestleMania 3. for the Intercontinental title. 2 matches or 3 matches before Hulk and Andre. Hulk and Andre were great, but Savage and Steamboat stole the show. I mean, they stole the show. Even before the show started, everybody knew that was the match. Like, everybody wanted to see Hulk and Andre, but a lot of people want to see Savage and Steamboat. And that match, I mean, I think maybe the greatest match of all time. I mean, along with Austin and Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13. But that's, like I said, that's another story for another day. But something's got to, I mean, I'm surprised, Piper. They all know Savage, I mean, he was friends with Hogan, but that's the reason Savage and Elizabeth got divorced, because Hogan and his wife, slut Linda, you know what I'm saying, said, you know, you should go out and see other people. Randy's too hard on you. He's suffocating you so much. Hulk Hogan, you're a scumbag, and I hope you're watching this. You don't deserve to friggin' induct the great Randy Savage, one of my favorite wrestlers. Besides Shawn Michaels and Scott Hall and Edge, Randy Savage is right there with them. You know what I mean? As my favorite wrestlers of all time. You know what I mean? For real. I mean, I grew up, that was the guy that, him and Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper were the guys that drew, and Hulk Hogan, at that time, I was a little kid, drove me towards wrestling. That's, But this, this show was really about, I wanted to do this. I was just thinking, you know, I'm bored. You know what I mean? My grandma's gonna be home in a second. I just want to, you know, do a show and get something out of the way. You know, get my face on TV. But Daniel Bryan's not winning the Royal Rumble. Philly, we're not Pittsburgh. We're not. Randy Orton's winning the Royal Rumble. I mean, I like Randy Orton. I know Philly's probably going to be booing him. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Philly loves the heels, and I wrote this on whoever it was who said Daniel Bryan's. He's not winning the Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan's not winning. Roman Reigns is not winning the. Randy Orton. That's why Randy Orton's not been on TV. They're not even talking about him. He comes out after Raw sometimes after they're off the air. I mean, the people in the crowd will see him. He comes out after SmackDown, and he does some house shows. He's not on TV until the Royal Rumble on January 25th, right down the street from my house at the Wells Fargo Center. Straight up. Or the Wachovia Center, whatever they call it now. The Wells Fargo Center. So that's when and he's going to win the Royal Rumble. That's what I hear. Another rumor going around, number 30 will be The Undertaker, and he'll win it, and he'll fight Brock. I mean, that's weird. I mean, if they have that, The Undertaker and Sting to be on the same card at WrestleMania, and they're not going to have The Undertaker and Sting, possibly it might be The Undertaker versus Brock for the WWE World title, and have The Undertaker retire as champion. Because, I mean, that'd be a spit in The Undertaker's face if Seth cashed in on him. But who's going to win at the Royal Rumble? Cena's not. And we all know, so don't be going. I hope everybody, I know everybody in Philly, it's half and half with Cena. I mean, I like Cena half and half. Sometimes I like him, sometimes I hate him. But I do respect him. Like The Undertaker, I like The Undertaker better than Cena. But I'm not a big Undertaker fan, but I will mark out if he comes out numbered. I'll be like, yeah, I want him to win. Unless CM Punk and The Rock are in it, that's different. Or HBK came out of retirement, or Edge came out of retirement. You know what I mean? But if The Undertaker is in it, and you know what I mean, I'd want him. Unless it comes down to him and Dean Ambrose. You know what I mean? That's different. Randy Orton's my favorite wrestler, though. So, yeah, I would like to see Randy Orton. So, if people are booing Randy Orton, expect to be getting in a fight with Joey Crack. Because I love Randy Orton's my favorite wrestler right now. You know what I mean? Well, for the last 10 years, he's been my favorite wrestler. I'm RKO for life. Randy Orton is winning the 2015 Royal Rumble. Book it. For real, he is. Unless The Undertaker returns or The Rock. For real. Or CM Punk. That's the only way Randy Orton's not winning it. For real. Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns. As much as I would like to see Dolph Ziggler or Dean Ambrose. I would love to see Dean Ambrose. My other upcoming favorite wrestler. I would love to see Dean or Bray Wyatt win. But they're not winning it. Randy Orton's winning it. The only other person I can see other than Randy Orton winning it is Dolph Ziggler. What do you call it? That's the only other person. Maybe Roman Reigns, and he'll get booed out. He'll get booed. He will get booed if Roman Reigns wins it. He will. We will boo him. Philly will. But we're not Pittsburgh. And Daniel Bryan isn't going to win the Royal Rumble. So everybody get this in your head. No. Daniel Bryan is not winning the Royal Rumble. Randy Orton is. Book it. Joey G called it. Remember, either that or The Undertaker's coming out number 30 and is winning. One of them two things are happening. Bank on it. This is Joey G. Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, you do not deserve to induct the great Randy Savage into the Hall of Fame. makes me sick. Batista, come back and lay fucking The Rock. Come back and both of you tear ass in the WWE because we need some mayhem. This is Joe and Batista. That's why I really want to come back because Batista's the man. He's a legend. And everybody shit on him last year. I would love Batista to come back and win the Royal Rumble this year. For real. Even though Randy Orton's my boy. You know what I'm saying? But still. I would just love to see Batista come back because somebody, WWE fucked Batista over. You cheer for a little troll over Dave Batista? For real? Really? Really? I'll pull a Miz on you. This is Joey G. I'm going to watch Goodfellas. I'm out. Peace.